Okay, since I haven't done a review in a little while, I was thinking of doing a review on Ubuntu 12, and actually we have a guest on the review show right now. Introduce yourself, please.
Hello, I'm Render Settings.
Yes, that's his YouTube name, Render Settings. He has absolutely no views and no videos. So,
Yeah.
mhm. If you look over here, you can see the Ubuntu login screen. Here's the username. You can either use guest session or the username which you set up. I'm going to go and sign in now. And let's wait for this to load. So, Ubuntu 12.04 is from the long-term support branch. It will be supported on server and desktop up to 5 years. As default, Firefox is the included web browser. It includes LibreOffice. And over here, we have the Ubuntu One, which is your cloud storage. Then over here, we have Ubuntu Software Center, where you can download apps and otherwise drivers, and other things for your Ubuntu computer. Do you have anything to say, Charlie?
Is the cloud storage free, or do you have to sign up for an account?
I believe it is free for 1 GB account. Now, they may offer premium, but I have not actually signed up for an account yet, because since I don't usually use Ubuntu as my main account, my main operating system, I do have a dual boot setup with Elementary OS, which is based on Ubuntu. But yeah. But I believe they give you a free 1 GB account. So here's the uh, Ubuntu One Software Center, and here's the top rated apps here. Currently they have Gparted, VLC, Stellarium, Audacity, Genie, and then if you want to go and search, you can search by accessories, books and magazines, developer tools, educational tools, fonts, games, graphic design programs, internet browsers and otherwise items, office, science and engineering, sound and video, system tools, themes and tweaks, and universal access. Universal access is similar to the Windows Ease of Access, where you can add on-screen keyboards, items that read out text and otherwise, and ClearType, which helps people with viewing disabilities. Do you have anything to add, Charlie?
No.
Okay. Actually, Charlie, have you used Ubuntu before?
I have it on my very old desktop, so it doesn't run that good. So, not that much.
Now, could you tell the viewers what, hold on. I need to check something. Now, this could either be a fluke, or I could be talking to myself, and this could be not recording the voice. I'm really sorry about this. Hold on. So, blah blah blah. Okay, good, it is recording. Oh, okay. As you were saying, you have it installed on an older computer and it doesn't seem to be functioning as well?
No. The hard drive read-write time is extremely high, so it reruns.
Now, could you describe what version of Ubuntu? Do you believe it's 10.0, 11, 12, 8?
Um, I think it's 10, maybe?
Okay, so if
I
Ubuntu...
would have to check that.
No, it's okay, you don't have to check. I mean, if you want to. Um, and actually, speaking of elementary, I believe if I type into under themes and tweaks, elementary. So yeah, I believe that with, it's weird, it doesn't seem to be showing it. Also, with the introduction with Ubuntu 10.1004, they introduced the Unity, which is similar to a Windows 7 styled arrow approach with the pinned apps on the left side. And also if you click here, the dash home, it shows recent apps, or if you search, It'll show up programs, documents, photos, or anything that's been indexed with the keyword. If you'd like to go to the GNOME style, you can go and do log out, I believe. Once you log out, you can click the little Ubuntu symbol on your username or guest session and select Ubuntu 2D. Now I believe that Ubuntu 2D is either similar to GNOME, the default shell. Okay, so actually it's still Unity, but with the 3D effects disabled. So if you have an older computer like Charlie, as I said, if you have an older computer like Charlie, okay, he's not responding. Like I said, if you have an older computer, like Charlie, you could use that. You could use that instead of the 3D Unity.
Okay, I think I'll try that.
Okay. Also, I believe there is a way you can set it so you can do the Ubuntu fallback, which is GNOME. But here's the instant messenger, which I think is empathy, I believe. Here's the battery indicator showing I have an hour and 1 minute left. Here's the internet connection. It's currently showing that I'm connected wirelessly. Here's the volume control with the media controls for Rhythm Box. Here's your clock and calendar. And here's your current user, where you can also switch into guest session. Or if you click here, you can show all user accounts. Also, I believe with the implementation of Ubuntu 9, Ubuntu now comes packaged with Flash already. So if you go to a site which uses Flash, like youtube.com, you'll now be able to view Flash-based videos and content. So let's search for a YouTube user that I know. Zestypanda. Now, we click on the channel. It shows we have 46 videos. Like I said, 58 subscribers. And my most recent video, if you click videos, is from 2 weeks ago, and it is a video project which I did in English. And similar to the Windows Arrow Snap, you can arrange windows side by side. So if I were to open LibreOffice Writer, let's say I'm writing a paper or something, or a recipe. You like food, don't you, Charlie?
Love food.
See, so actually, and I will implement a suggestion to them, but apparently the Windows Snap is unavailable in the Ubuntu 2D session. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to log out under Ryan. I click my username.
It's probably just implemented under the 3D and stripped down under 2D.
Yeah. So now if we go to options and click log out, you'll say, are you sure you want to close out programs and log out of the computer? Click log out. It'll terminate the user session. And then if we re-log in using 3D, enter my password. Now once Unity starts up, you'll see by the slight glow of the pinned apps that is now in 3D mode, I believe. So if you click an app, it shows the slight glow activation, similar to Windows 7. So it has snap windows, snap to maximize, but what is not working for me, maybe I have to go and do settings. Now keep in mind I have not used Ubuntu in a little while, but I believe if we click Ubuntu regular settings, log in, the Ubuntu 3D Unity should be enabled. So now, hopefully, and now not every single review goes as planned. Okay, so now it's working. So, similar to Windows 7, we have something that's called, it's probably called Ubuntu Snap, because Arrow is probably copyrighted by Microsoft. But if you have two windows, you can arrange them side by side. So I can take my LibreOffice window, put it over to the right, and then open up Firefox or Chromium, arrange that to the left. And now let's say I want to learn about what a Charlie, do you remember that animal that I was mentioning earlier?
An ocelot?
Yes, ocelots. Thank you. So let's say I'm doing a term paper on ocelots. I'm sorry, I'm trying to keep a straight face. So let's say, hypothetically, your college professor tells you to do a term paper on ocelots. Sorry. So if you type in ocelots into Wikipedia, how do you spell ocelots?
Ocelot.
Ocelot. Ocelots. So now you're agreed with the Wikipedia page for ocelot, and so now you can read the article while typing out your term paper. So let's start with MLA format, your name, teacher's name, the class, and then the date, which today's date would be the 18th, 19th. So May 19th, 2012. And if you highlight that, you can, under LibreOffice, the formatting, you can do let's see, where would the so now line spacing, you do double. So now let's start off our paper. The mighty ocelot is very graceful and majestic. If you were to write a paper on ocelots, how would you introduce the paper, Charlie?
Ocelots are furry and related to cats. The end.
Ocelots are furry and related to felines. That would probably get you a F minus.
No, at least an F plus.
Do you have any other questions about Ubuntu, or do you think my review has fulfilled all your Ubuntu needs?
Do you know exactly what they added in the latest release? Is it just putting Firefox as the default browser instead of Chromium?
Actually, Firefox has been the default browser for Ubuntu for over 4 or 5 years. But what they did do is they fixed some problems with Unity 2D and 3D. They've made the dashboard, the dash home search more refined, and they claim to have included more speed improvements, but I personally have actually noticed that it is slower. That's my own personal opinion. So now over here we have workspace switcher. So you can have up to 4 workspaces open. So you click workspace and you double click on any of the panes. and it selects that. So let's say you have Firefox and LibreOffice open in one workspace, and then you have Rhythmbox open or Ubuntu One open, and then you want to go and have Software Center open in the other, and then you also want to go and browse a CD. So now you have 4 workspaces with 4 different things going on. And I believe that you can actually take windows from each workspace, which is really nice. So let's say I wanted to take the Ubuntu One Software Center and put it in the workspace that has the Ubuntu One Software Center. I can now do that, and then I can take the Explorer window showing the contents of the CD and add it to the workspace of the one with my Google, with my Firefox, and Word document. Now, currently, with the way Ubuntu is, do you see yourself switching from Microsoft to Ubuntu?
Probably not. I'm just more accustomed to Windows, and it just has better application support.
That is the one complaint that people have been voicing for years about Ubuntu and Linux, that the lack of support and or lack of alternatives to Windows and Mac programs. I believe my next review will be of Windows 7, which is about 3 years overdue. And then I might do a review of Windows 8. Um, Actually, while we're at that, what is your opinion of Windows 8?
I'm really not a fan of the Metro tabs. I would rather just have the default desktop applications, and it also makes it so that you have to put all your apps in development. You have to put them through the Metro API instead of just the default Windows. So I think a lot of people are going to have trouble like developing more apps further on.
Microsoft has noted that, but they seem fairly confident in going ahead with releasing Microsoft 8 either this fall or winter, even after what people are saying that this will be Vista 2 or Windows ME 2. Um, I personally view that as they are going for a more mobile platform, which is fine. I find that it'll be more difficult and highly frustrating to the desktop user. And even if you have an all-in-one desktop with the touchscreen, it would be I've tried it, and my opinion is that it's extremely frustrating to use and not that intuitive. Now, what they could have done is they could have created an extra flavor of Windows on top of Basic, Professional, and Ultimate, and Server. They could have created a mobile version like with Windows CE. They could have taken Windows 8 and had Windows 8 for tablets or Windows 8 for mobile. But what they seem to be doing is that they're forcing us to a more, how do I put it, mobile platform? Which, when you actually think about it, how many times, even if you were able to have a tablet, how many times would you go and play Crysis 2 or Half-Life on a mobile device?
I don't think it's more about playing games. It's just more about having the same experience over all the different platforms, which it certainly is, because on the Windows Phone, they already have the panels. So they're just bringing that over to Windows. But I don't think that it will have the same feeling on the phone as it will on a desktop or a laptop.
Yes, people have expressed that concern that on a mobile device such as the Windows Phone, it works and is fairly successful, similar to the Android platform, because if a phone is a smaller screen, it's more condensed and it's easier to use the bigger buttons. But what I've also noticed is that I lost my train of thought. Oh, that they seem to be almost dumbing it down. I mean, they what they've done is, and in my review I'll go into this a little bit more, but they've actually removed the uh start menu, the classic start menu. Um, but yeah, I honestly think that unless this is like a giant joke, which I hope it is, but it isn't, that they're making a very egregious mistake. Um,
Yeah, I think like what you said, it's just going to be another Vista or Windows Me, but it's just going to be a version that no one will use, and they're just going to skip over and try to pass it off as a joke.
yeah, I mean personally, I'm completely satisfied with Windows 7, except for when Windows 7 detects my computer is up is functioning too slow and tries to change it to a Windows Basic theme. So yeah, I think that I I don't know. I mean, maybe Microsoft and Bill Gates are getting a little bit worried because with the passing of uh, Steve Jobs, they're looking at their foundation note. Please note that Steve Jobs and Microsoft are not related. Continuing on, but I think they might be looking at their business platform, and they're noticing that even with the removal of the founder of Apple, um, that Apple is moving towards a more mobile um, platform, which they have been for the past 6 years. But one thing I noticed that Apple does is that, and they do it really well, is that everything's streamlined and very clean. But when Microsoft tries to do it, like with Windows 8, it's almost like a play toy from Mattel. It's all bright colors, big and clunky, giant buttons, click here. When I personally think it's a little bit insulting to the user if you're using it on a desktop. I mean, you might as well go and sell them a copy of Microsoft Bob.
Exactly, like her iOS, they have it so that it feels streamlined. In Windows 8, it's more, here's a phone that we made bigger.
Yeah, and yeah. Oh, for those that are wondering, um, the noise of barking is coming from a canine named Benji in the background of our guest. Or not the background of our guest, sorry. The, let me reword that. Charlie, who has a dog whose name is Benji, is barking. So if you hear barking when he's talking, that's his dog. That's all.
Apologies.
Yes. Who he has retreated back to his room because he got sick of being tortured by listening to Margaritaville and Hamburger Paradise over and over. And Billy Joel.
Well, I think that's all that I have to say about Windows 8.
Yeah, and you've weighed in about Ubuntu, and I think that that just about wraps up this review. If you want a more in-depth review, you can leave a comment on my YouTube channel or on this video once I upload it. Um, I'm still trying to figure out how to do the co-ops with Skydevil. Because of the current internet speed, I can't share the screen at the same time as talking to him. So this is more of a blind co-op, what I'm doing right now. But I mean, I assume that Charlie knows what Ubuntu looks like.
Yeah, like I can't see his screen. I'm just talking to him over Steam while he's doing the review.
Yeah, but most people know what Firefox looks like. They've seen the installed apps on Ubuntu. So that about wraps up this review. So this has been Zestypanda with render settings in. You're gonna say something?
No, just see you, everyone.
Okay.
Bye.
Bye. And that's a wrap.